The following special presentation is sponsored by Arena Advertising.
You are looking live right now at the best high school football players in the entire state of Florida right here at Dave & Buster's in Hollywood. These are seniors getting all the attention today, and they deserve it, and we're here to celebrate it all with you on NBC6 National Signing Day.
I'm going to take my time down the court again. University of Miami.
Florida State University.
University, man.
The University of Georgia.
Oh, Louisville.
Welcome to Dave & Buster's in Hollywood. It is the 6th annual South Florida High School Football Show Signing Day special. Hundreds of recruits and their families joining us here for a very proud moment. These are the best high school football players, a lot of them in the country. I'm Adam Cooperstein, and we're proud to be back here alongside Joe Rose and Juwan Strader. What a day, guys.
Oh, absolutely. You look at this stuff, all the work through youth football, playing high school football, good programs that didn't have as much success, but today it all pays off for all these guys. A lot of them getting scholarships, a lot of them throughout Dade and Broward County.
Yeah, Joe, this is all about students headed off to college. Some of the best colleges in the country. Take a look here right behind me. I have LSU here right behind me. I have the Huskies here right behind me. I have Bethune-Cookman here right behind me in Cincinnati. We have a lot of different schools here represented, but most importantly, this is about our youth going to college, and I want to make sure we get that most important point across.
So many great stories to tell tonight, and over the next half hour, we're going to do that here on NBC6. So we're glad to have these kids with us. Their families are here too. You're going to meet them in just a second, but right now, we start things off in Miami-Dade, where there was a lot of suspense today, guys, and it came down to the last minute for some of the top players. Let's take a look.
I will take my title to University of Florida.
We start with the national champs. Booker T. Washington quarterback Treon Harris announcing his decision to play for the Florida Gators, choosing UF over FSU, Auburn, and the hometown Canes.
That was the hardest decision of my life, man. I just had one shot at it, so I had to do it best for me.
16 Tornadoes going to college to play football. 5-star defensive end Chad Thomas and teammate Demetrius Jackson both choosing to stay close to home, staying committed to the Hurricanes. Thomas sticking with the U over a late push by Alabama.
Louisiana State University.
Plenty of attention on Champagnat defensive tackle Trevante Valentine. Originally a verbal commitment to Miami, Valentine changed his mind, flipping to LSU.
To me, I think LSU is business. So, you know, if I want to make it out, if I want to go to the NFL or, you know, get a degree or anything, I thought LSU was the perfect school for me to do it.
Homestead receiver Ermon Lane is one of the best in South Florida. He's signing with the national champion Seminoles, a key part of another dominant recruiting class.
I'm Shamar Spence, and I'll be going to FIU.
A busy day at Northwestern, too. 17 athletes earning scholarships. JoJo Robinson heading to Arkansas. Linebacker Mike Smith will go to the Gables. He'll be joined there by South Dade receiver Tyree Brady. Columbus High School has an Ivy Leaguer, Zach Marti, chose Brown. The largest signing day crop appears to be Coral Reef. 20 students signing to play football, and it's only fitting that the largest group also has the largest pen. That's quarterback Nico Pierre signing to play with Duke. His receiver, Jacob McCrary, is heading to West Virginia.
Okay, you just saw one of those last-minute surprises, and Joe Rose is standing by with one of the recruits here today, Trevante Valentine, with more. Joe?
Adam, what a story it was, and a lot of folks, not only here in South Florida, but nationally wondering where the defensive tackle out of Champagnat was going to end up going. Trevante Valentine joins us right now, and hey, man, you've been the talk, not only locally, but everybody wondering where you were going to go between LSU and Miami. How tough was the decision, and when did you have an idea?
It all started this morning when I had, you know, thought about it, and, you know, I was, like, late for school, like 2 to 3 hours late. I was still thinking in my bed. Then you know, as soon as I got dressed, I felt like, you know, LSU was home, so that's where I had to go to. So,
you know, it's funny. A lot of people ask me, when you make a late recruiting trip like you did to LSU, how much did that have to do with it, getting a chance to see it almost last?
Baton Rouge was, a school that, it produced a lot of D linemen, DBs. It produced a lot of everything. That's the school that I felt like that was right for me, and how, the academic program was pretty good. The coach is going to take care of you, and the players going to make you feel like it's home.
As you take a look now, how tough was it going through being recruited by so many different schools as one of the top defensive tackles? What is that like, and were you glad to finally get it over, Tronte?
It was hard. Twitter, Facebook, everything was like filled with like at least 130 or 200 something things in my inbox or notifications. It was crazy, but now ever since I signed that paper, everything's done, finished. It just went down.
Travante, really appreciate you being with us. Good luck at LSU. Really appreciate you coming on with us. Adam, back to you.
All right, Joe, thank you so much. We're just getting started here at Dave & Buster's in Hollywood, and coming up next, some big decisions in Broward. We'll tell you who's going where. Plus, we've already crowned our Broward Player of the Year. We're going to do that in a moment, in fact, and we'll crown our Miami-Dade winner as well. Juwan Strader also returns to introduce us to the Harris family of Booker T. Washington High School, where football is a way of life. And how did Miami's class rank? We asked the recruiting expert Larry Bluestein. Is all coming up next on the South Florida High School Football Show Signing Day Special.
Tico Peoples Gas is proud to recognize Miami Central Senior High as the Dade County School of the Year. During the season, players and schools were nominated and voted on by schools and football fans on SouthFloridaHighSchoolFootball.com. The school receiving the most overall votes wins a $500 check donation. Presenting the check to the school is Tracy Yality of Tico Peoples Gas. Congratulations, Miami Central Senior High.
The South Florida High School Football Show Signing Day Special is brought to you by Broward Health, Powerful Medicine, Tico Peoples Gas. Tico reminds you to call 811 before you dig. And the U.S. Army, Army Strong.
Broward Health is good at keeping muscles and joints in motion and out of pain. So good, they treat some of the nation's top athletes. So good, they've been selected to perform joint replacements on retired players. And so good, they handle more ortho cases and perform more joint replacements than anyone else in Broward. So if you're a senior with joint pain or an injured athlete of any age, trust the team Ryan Tannehill trusts.
Broward Health. Powerful medicine.
A few years ago, I decided to push myself further. College, graduate school, degrees in aeronautics and engineering. And I learned that being my best means getting the best from everyone around me. Becoming an Army officer taught me to set high objectives and quickly rise to meet them. Kinda like a rocket.
An Army officer learns to reach new heights and inspires others to do the same. Can you? Find out at goarmy.com/officer.
For outdoor projects large or small, avoiding buried utility lines is more than food for thought.
What happened?
Know what's below. You or your contractor should always call 811 before you dig. Utilities will mark your lines for free. Brought to you by Tico Peoples Gas.
Welcome back to Dave & Buster's in Hollywood. It's a packed house here for the 6th annual South Florida High School Football Show Signing Day Special, and I'm surrounded by talent everywhere. Wisconsin guys, Notre Dame, we got a Kane, we got a Gator, LSU as well. These are some of the biggest stars, some future stars of college football. And let's go up to Broward County now, because we told you about Miami-Dade, but let's find out who's going where in Broward, and we begin with the consensus top player in the county.
He's the player of the year and a state champion, too. Now American Heritage running back Sony Michel is officially a Georgia Bulldog. That's not a surprise, but what is a surprise is who's joining him. Teammate Isaiah McKenzie choosing Athens, too.
I made our decision was, I feel like I should, I want to play 4 more years with Sonny Michel. And at the same time, if Sonny Michel can get along with, the coaches and everything, I feel like I can get along with the coaches as well.
University of South Carolina.
One of the other top undecided players comes out of Plantation. Chris Lamons will play for the old ball coach, Steve Spurrier, at South Carolina.
For the next 3 to 5 years, I'll be taking my talents when people throw L's up and say, "Go Tigers." I'll be going to Louisiana State University.
LSU cleaned up nicely in South Florida, adding Hallandale safety John Battle to go with Champagnat's Trevante Valentine. The SEC having a field day in Broward. Chaminade linebacker Kerry Clark is a Gator, a banner day at University School too. Another top recruit, another SEC school. Quarterback Sean White going to Auburn, leading a contingent of 24 athletes signing on the dotted line. Ely linebacker Terry McRae breaks the streak. He's staying close to home, choosing the Hurricanes. And an epic scene at St. Thomas, as usual. Defensive lineman Anthony Moten and offensive lineman Nick Linder sign with Miami, and receiver Corey Holmes is going to Notre Dame.
So much talent, and I'm surrounded by guys who are telling me, hey, Northern Illinois is in the house, and we got Cincinnati back here, South Carolina, so many top programs represented. And right now we go out to Joe Rose with a young man who chose to go to the Big Ten. Joe, take it away.
Yeah, it's a great story. Madre London, running back out of St. Thomas Aquinas, joining us right now. Man, speaking of running backs, loaded in Dayton Broward. Did you follow all the running backs that are going all over the country, Madre?
Oh, yeah, I had to keep my game up to level, and it was hard working, so I had to keep up with them.
I want to ask you about going to St. Thomas. You guys played a lot of national games. You know, you kind of were under the radar for a lot, but obviously a lot of schools knew about you. You end up going to one of the top schools in the country in Michigan State. When did you make your decision?
I made my decision during the season. I wanted to get my official visits out the way so I can get focused on the playoffs.
I think when you go to St. Thomas, I know that's been a big issue, is get that out of the way so you can focus on your year and obviously trying to get to the state championship. You guys came up short this year, but what was it like playing at St. Thomas Aquinas and playing those national games?
Oh, it was an experience of a lifetime, playing with the top players in the nation, Corey Holmes, Anthony Moten, Nick Leonard, everybody going D1 there. It was just an experience, and I was just fortunate enough to get a ring last year.
Madre, what's it like? What ends up where you make your final decision and you go to Michigan State? What was it that sold you?
It's somewhere that you feel like you can play at, and the coaching staff got to be real good. So that's where I felt like I can play at, and I love the coaches, and I like the academics there too.
Good stuff. Nice to hear that academic stuff. Madre, thank you so much for being with us. Coop, right back over to you, my man.
All right, thank you very much, Joe. Now I'm surrounded by players from Miami-Dade, and we've got a whole bunch of schools represented here. Louisville, my alma mater, Syracuse over here. I got FAU, and of course, more Syracuse guys. I like to see that. The Orange well represented. But the Miami-Dade Player of the Year, this was a pretty easy choice. We're talking about a guy, top recruit in South Florida, a running back who led his team to a second straight title in the state thanks to nearly 2,000 yards rushing, 34 touchdowns. We're talking about Dalvin Cook out of Miami Central. And now Dalvin's an early enrollee at Florida State. So what we're going to do now is we're going to send the trophy to Dalvin up there.
Hi, I'm Kellen Doyle. I'm here with Dalvin Cook to present him with the Tecos People's Gas Player of the Year Award for Miami-Dade County. Congratulations, Dalvin.
Thank you.
What are your thoughts on receiving this award?
I think it's a great accomplishment in my high school career, and I think I capped it off real good.
Why did you choose to attend Florida State University?
I felt this was the best place for me, and we on the rise right now, and I just feel like I should be a part of it.
Tell us about your last football season and what it was like to win the state title.
It was great to do it with a bunch of great guys, and I won't take nothing back. If I could do it again, I'll do it again.
Thank you very much, and congratulations again.
Thank you so much.
Not the only team winning a state championship out of Miami-Dade. There's another school, Booker T. Washington, with their second title in a row. And for Booker T, the Tornadoes, it was all in the family. Juwan Strader's here to explain.
Yeah, Adam, it's just all about their coach, Tim Harris. And that's what he believes, keeping it in the family. This man has done a lot. This man has won 3 state titles. He went undefeated during the season, and Booker T crowned national champions. But some would say that this was quite a big accomplishment. Some would say it was all about being a father.
A state championship and likely a national championship for Booker T. Washington.
For Tim Harris, football is a family business, and business is booming. Nicknamed Ice, Harris is the head coach of Booker T. Washington High School in Overtown. The Tornadoes voted national champion after a 14-0 season and a second straight state title.
We understand the formula, you know, in the Harris family, and that's hard work.
Well, that work is paying off. Harris now has 3 state championships at Booker T, racking up 99 wins in 109 games over 8 seasons. His oldest son, Tim Jr., was an All-American sprinter at the University of Miami and now serves as offensive coordinator for his dad. Ice's son, Brandon, is in the NFL, a quarterback for the Houston Texans, also a Hurricane graduate. And now Harris watches as his third son, Treon, heads to college as one of the most sought-after quarterback prospects in the country.
And it's just been a blessing. I'm so blessed as a parent.
The added bonus, Ice has coached all 3 at Booker T, making sure his boys did things the right way.
It was fun at times, and then it was also difficult because a lot of kids, you know, who play for them, who are out and practice with us every day, they don't have to, you know, ride home with them and be at the dinner table with them at night, you know, for them to keep grilling us about something that we may have done wrong on the field or in school that day.
A lot of people, a lot of times, they think, you know, a lot of stuff is handed to you, or, you know, spots is given, and the success you have is a lot to do with, you know, your dad being the coach. So I think for me, it just drove me to work harder and prove everybody that, you know, everything I got out here I earned.
You got to stay on top of you. A lot of players out here and got their father out here. Keep them on the right track.
Treon may be the youngest, but he may turn out to be the best. He's lost just 3 games in 3 seasons as a starter, taking the Tornadoes to 3 straight state finals, guided by the experience and success of his dad and 2 brothers.
When they got to high school, I seen them, like, Brandon and Putnam signing. I just, like, I want to do that one day. And do that, I got to stay on point.
We were good cop, bad cop when it came to Treon. But he was hard on him at times, but he had me all the time. I would cut him off, and I think that helped Treon to have it easy sometimes, because I was like, Coach, don't worry about it, I got it. When the lights are the brightest, he rises to the occasion. He can throw the ball with the best of them. And then, you know, he's probably the best athlete on any field that he's touched all year.
So today, National Signing Day, a father and his 3 sons show how football can provide so much opportunity.
Just gets you to a point where the game become more than a game, you know, it become a way of life.
It's a great way to be able to live a great life if it's done the right way. And we try to make sure that we show it as a Harris family of doing it the right way.
A very, very inspirational story right there. Now, Coach Harris says that he was inspired by his head coach at Miami Jackson Senior High School. He said he wanted to be a good father to his sons. Also, he wanted to be able to touch the youth in the community. Now, Adam, as far as Treon is concerned, he kind of surprised some by decommitting to Florida State University and opting for the Gators at the University of Florida.
Canes fans around here didn't like that. Seminoles, too. And it's always about bragging rights, right? When it comes to this stuff for the fans, some of the players I know have had some friendly trash talk as well. And still to come, we're going to tell you who won the recruiting battle in the state of Florida. We'll check in with recruiting expert Larry Bluestein to tell you who ranked where next on the NBC6 South Florida High School Football Show Signing Day Special.
Tico Peoples Gas is proud to recognize American Heritage High and Plantation as the Broward County School of the Year. During the season, players and schools were nominated and voted on by students and football fans on SouthFloridaHighSchoolFootball.com. The school receiving the most overall votes wins a $500 check donation. Presenting the check to the school is Tracy Yality of Tico Peoples Gas. Congratulations, American Heritage.
The South Florida High School Football Show Signing Day Special is brought to you by South Florida Chevy Dealer. Find new roads. And Dave & Buster's. Eat, drink, play, watch sports.
He's a 20 years straight, get to work on time. He's loved one woman for all his life. Everybody knows he ain't just tough, he's strong.
The all-new 2014 Chevy Silverado. Strong for all the roads ahead.
Don't just have dinner, have fun.
The Eat and Play combo is back at Dave & Buster's. Choose from 15 full entrees and get a $10 power card starting at just $16.99. New food, new drinks, new games. Plus, everyone can play the all-new Mario Kart Arcade Grand Prix Deluxe free. And right now, the only place in the country to play it is Dave & Buster's. Hurry in. The Eat and Play combo and free gameplay ends March 9th. Dave & Buster's, the only place for food and fun.
I'm going to take my son down the court again. University of Miami.
Florida State University.
Mr. Ed Garland with this check for $2,000.
Welcome back to the South Florida High School Football Show Signing Day Special. More awards to hand out tonight. Teacher of the Year in Miami-Dade County. We honor Ed Garland of the Terra Environmental Research Institute. Mr. Garland presented his check by Luis Izquierdo, the South Florida Chevy Dealers Group President. Also, Luis Izquierdo presenting the check to the Broward Teacher of the Year. Dr. Tamika King of Coral Springs High School earning the honor, so congratulations to both of our Teachers of the Year. And right now, it's time to hand out some hardware for Broward County. This is pretty exciting, the Broward County Player of the Year, and for that, we bring in Tracy Yelledy from the Tico People's Gas, and a very special guest to introduce our Broward Player of the Year. Tracy, take it away.
Introducing the Broward Player of the Year,
Isaiah McKenzie right here, headed to Georgia. It's a huge deal from American Heritage to Georgia. And Isaiah, how does it feel to win Broward Player of the Year?
I mean, it feels great. You know, great talent all around Broward County and everything. But, you know, it feels great to, you know, get this trophy, and it's an honor.
When you start off this season and you guys, you know, go out there and try to have team success and also individual success, did you ever imagine being up here with the trophy and having this proud moment where you announce you're headed to Georgia to be a Bulldog?
Not really. You know, I mean, I put everything on my teammates and coaches, and they helped me out a lot. So, I mean, now I feel like, you know, go to Georgia and do the same thing.
Isaiah, everyone's really proud of you, so congratulations to you, and thanks to Tico's People's Gas for making this happen as well. Congrats, Isaiah.
Thank you.
That's Isaiah McKenzie right there from American Heritage. Let's give it up for him. Headed to Georgia to be a Bulldog. It's a really special honor, and we're really happy for him. And right now, let's go to Joe Rose with Larry Bluestein. Take it away, Joe.
Thanks, Adam. And Larry, let's get right into it. Everybody wants to know, we got so many great athletes. Who was the big winners today as you look? And let's start with the big three. How did they do? Miami, Florida, and Florida State.
Florida State, obviously, Joe. I mean, you play off a national title, play off of 3 good recruiting classes. They got who they needed, filled some spaces. Florida, now, remember, they were depleted with injury last year, and a lot of people didn't understand. They had 6, 7 guys out. Well, you get those kids back, plus a recruiting class that adds depth. Most importantly with the Miami Hurricanes is they had an opportunity first to add some depth. In the past, they would get the kids and they'd have to use them right away. But now at least they have an opportunity to stockpile a couple of kids. And if they get somebody injured or you know, I mean, this is what happens when NCAA probation isn't in your head. So obviously it was a lot easier day for Miami. Florida State, much easier. And then Florida, obviously, because they have a lot of holes to fill.
Al Golden, this is his best recruiting class?
Oh, by far.
Not even close.
By far. He could go, first of all, he can go into a living room and finally say, you know, there's nothing but bowl games and conference championships and clear sailing. And what a great way to end a recruiting season. And he got some kids that he needed up front, defensively with the junior college kids, a couple of freshmen around here. And they satisfied the local connection. You know, if you and I always get into that, but that local connection.
Real quickly, overall, the talent in South Florida, how was it this year?
Big time. We still have a lot of kids that haven't signed, so that shows you.
All right. Hey, Larry, thank you so much,
Anytime,
as always,
Joe.
for spending some time. I could spend hours with Larry. Hey, let's go back to Adam Cooperstein for everything else. Oh, let's go to a package right now.
The National Signing Day party got started early in South Florida, and if you were a super fan, you were getting text messages from schools like the University of Miami when a student athlete faxed in his letter of intent.
I can't reach.
4-star quarterback from West Hills, California, Brad Kaya, wasted little time this morning, waking up at 4:02 a.m. to fax in his commitment.
They offered me first, I mean, a long time ago. I mean, they've always been here in my recruitment before I got ranked and all the stars and all that. I could have picked from USC and UCLA at home, but I felt more comfortable, going across the country to Miami.
In all, from East Coast to West Coast, the U finished with 26 commitments and a consensus top 15 class.
These are guys that everybody wanted, and they wanted to come to the University of Miami. We're grateful to them and their family, but now it's not pressure to develop them. We can't wait to develop them.
Get it, nation, go get us.
Meanwhile, the Florida Gators made themselves comfortable in sunny South Florida, picking up 5 commitments from the Dade-Broward area.
I chose Florida because it was the best of both worlds for me, academically and football-wise, you know, because they lost 2 cornerbacks. I could go in there and make an impact right now.
My mom wanted me to go to Florida the whole time, even though she wouldn't say it, and I just wanted to do right by her.
And we can't forget about the champs. The Florida State Seminoles finished with a top 5 class, thanks in part to plucking 2 of the best recruits in the country, running back Dalvin Cook and Homestead wideout Ermon Lane.
Well, I feel good, you know, knowing that I'm going to a Division I college. That's what my dream was. And this was fun, you know, knowing that it's all over. Now I don't really know where I'm going at.
The South Florida High School Football Show Signing Day Special is brought to you by Broward Health, Powerful Medicine, Tico People's Gas. Tico reminds you to call 811 before you dig. And South Florida Chevy dealers, find new roads.
Broward Health is good at keeping muscles and joints in motion and out of pain. So good, they treat some of the nation's top athletes. So good, they've been selected to perform joint replacements on retired players. And so good, they handle more ortho cases and perform more joint replacements than anyone else in Broward. So if you're a senior with joint pain or an injured athlete of any age, trust the team Ryan Tannehill trusts.
Broward Health. Powerful medicine.
For outdoor projects large or small, avoiding buried utility lines is more than food for thought.
What happened?
Know what's below. You or your contractor should always call 811 before you dig. Utilities will mark your lines for free. Brought to you by Tico People's Gas.
He's a 20 years straight, get to work on time. He's loved one woman for all his life. Everybody knows he ain't just tough, he's strong.
The all-new 2014 Chevy Silverado. Strong for all the roads ahead.
The South Florida High School Football Show is able to continue its scholarship program because of the continued support of its partners. The scholarships are awarded to eligible high school academic athletes selected by Miami-Dade and Broward County representatives. With the show awarding 90 academic athletic scholarships in past seasons, we are on track to give away our 100th scholarship this year.
Welcome back to the South Florida High School Football Show Signing Day Special, and I hope we all can soak in this moment, guys, because we've been doing this 6 years, and I feel like Joe and Juwan, every time we look up at a TV and see a big-time college football game or even an NFL game, it's a guy that was standing on this stage just a couple years ago.
We saw him in bowl games. We see him in the NFL, and there'll be more of these guys behind us, so we'll see having great college careers and getting drafted into the National Football League.
And not just that, Joe, you spoke about it earlier, most importantly in education. And hopefully a lot of these guys will be getting their degrees, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. That's what I like to hear.
And doing big things after football. Joe's going to keep up with them if they don't, too. But it's amazing. We're surrounded by guys from going right here at home, University of Miami, the Gators, the Seminoles. And I'm seeing Hawaii back there.
Cincinnati, my man
FAU,
over here.
Cincinnati.
I see the Owls
shouting out their schools now. But it really is incredible, the talent in South Florida, and they're great kids, too.
I'll give you one better than that. The whole country now recruits South Florida. I think it's obvious from the Pac-10 or Pac-20 now all the way out here. We're seeing everybody spend a lot of money on their recruiting budgets right here in South Florida.
We have some great kids here in South Florida, and that's just something so special about everyone here up on the stage right now. All of them want to get on television right now and claim their school. Go ahead and grab your cats, fellas, your caps. Go ahead and show them off right now.
Everybody back at home, thank you so much for watching the NBC6 South Florida High School Football Show Signing Day Special.